Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my Black Rose Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for March 2019. This is the updated version with the newest card in the deck being White Rose Dragon. With the Savage Strike Special Editions released, we were actually given that card as one of the OCG exclusives or the reprinted cards that they give us for the Special Editions. I think it's really cool that they gave us a brand new card for the Special Edition instead of just giving us a reprint of, maybe like a Shonen Jump card. But it really was needed for the Black Rose Dragon deck. I know I did a deck profile a little while back, but now with White Rose Dragon included, I think the deck is a lot more consistent and powerful, and very fun to play as well for sure. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, for the monsters, I run 3 Red Rose Dragon, one of your 3 Rose Dragons that you run in the deck, with Red Rose Dragon being the tuner monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can special summon 1 Rose Dragon monster from your hand or deck, except for a Red Rose Dragon. Then if it was sent for the synchro summon of a Black Rose Dragon or a plant synchro monster, you can also add 1 Frozen Rose or 1 Blooming of the Darkest Rose from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Red Rose Dragon once per turn. So not only do you have special summon capabilities, having search power for either your spell or trap that you run in the deck as well, makes it a definite 3 of in the deck, just for the speed and consistency that you can do with your other Rose Dragon we run, which is the new White Rose Dragon. I run 3 of this as well. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 Rose Dragon monster from your hand or graveyard, except for White Rose Dragon. You can only use each of the effects of White Rose Dragon once per turn. If you control a dragon or a plant tuner, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can send 1 level 4 or lower, level 4 or higher, sorry about that, plant monster from your deck to the graveyard. So not only does it set up some of your plant types in the graveyard, that consistency with Red Rose Dragon just works so well for making sure you do get out a synchro monster very easily, just being able to summon off of each other very, very well. Definitely 3 of for both of these cards in the deck. They are one of your main plays to do, just for getting out your synchros for sure with the deck. And I also run one of the other Rose Dragons, Blue Rose Dragon. We've actually had this one for quite a while now, but it worked very well with them as well, just being the fact that it is a Rose Dragon, so you can summon it off of their effects as well. When this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Black Rose Dragon or plant monster in your graveyard and special summon that monster. So you just have revival purposes, which is why I like Blue Rose Dragon in the deck as well, for your main monster or just another type of plant monster, since we have other synchro options for plants as well. So getting this out on the field just plays off of the fact for Black Rose Dragons, destruction effects as well. So very, very helpful to play those as well. And I also run 3 Dark Rose Fairy, another one of the new cards we received from the Sisters of the Rose booster pack. If a tuner is special summoned except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard to place this card on the top or bottom of your deck. You can only use each effect of Dark Rose Fairy once per turn. So definitely helpful with its level 2, working with your Red Rose Dragon, being able to summon out Garden Rose Maiden, which definitely does help for your Black Garden plays as well, so being able to search it out. So just another helpful card for the special summoning with this card, depending on what type of tuner you decide to go for as well. And I also run 3 Destrudo, the Lost Dragons Frisson, just for the fact that Black Rose Dragon and its counterpart, Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, are both level 7s. You can easily use Destrudo, depending on if it's in your hand or graveyard, just to summon it out to, make a easy level 7 monster out on the field, depending on what other monster you have as well, as long as it's not a tuner. But the only other one you run from the monsters we spoke of so far is Red Rose Dragon. So if you have any of the other ones, you can easily use Destrudo with that combo as well. And then for the plant monsters, I run 3 Lone Fire Blossom. Still really do like this card on the deck, just for the search capability you can do. We no longer have Soul Charge, sadly, so you can't revive the Lone Fires with Soul Charge after you use them for more tribute plant combos. But it's still very helpful just to search through them and then have more options available to you as well. And then for some of the one-of plant targets, I run 1 Glow Bulb. Just being able to get this card out faster with Lone Fire is just a helpful option, because then you can revive it from the graveyard by sending the top card of your deck. This effect's only once per duel, but still very, very helpful for going into some of your bigger synchro monsters as well, including Crystal Wing Dragon with your level 7 synchro dragons, like Black Rose Dragon. And I also run one World Carat Weight Champion. You only really need one of this card. There's plenty of ways to get it into the graveyard with either White Rose Dragon or just some of your other spells that we run in the deck. So just getting into the graveyard, if it's in your graveyard, you can send one plant type monster from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard, except World Carat Weight Champion to special summon this card. And the fact that it's only a once per turn means I only really need one of it, because then you can use it for resources, then just summon it back again next turn. It's good if you open up multiple Lone Fire Blossoms as well, just because you can send them off for the special summon of this card to the field. And lastly, for the plants and the monsters, I run one Spore, just another easy special summon from the graveyard by removing from play a plant monster from your graveyard to special summon this card and then increasing its level. Just helps for level adjustment depending on what type of summon you wanted to go for. And that is it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I run 3 Frozen Rose. This is your quick play spell. You send one face-up monster you control to the graveyard and apply this effect depending on the type it had on the field. If it was a plant, during the end phase of this turn, draw 2 cards, then discard 1 card. If it was a non-plant, you add 1 level 4 or lower plant type monster from your deck to your hand. So you have the search options with the other cards, the Rose Dragons in the deck being dragon. So you have that search for your plant monsters, but if it's a plant monster, you have the discard draw power to hopefully draw into some of the other more usable cards in the deck. The fact that it's a quick play as well means that you can rely on, just those extra resources on your field to summon out as well. And I also run 3 Instant Fusion. This is just another helpful card for having more options in the extra deck for monsters you can summon out depending on the type of level and the type of level you have on the field. You don't really use life for anything else in the deck, so just running this card for those extra monster options definitely does help, depending on if you want to go for a Link Summon or a Synchro, you name it. And I also run the 1 Black Garden. We only need the 1 since it's searchable with cards like your Garden Rose Maiden that we run, so you only need any more than that. If a monster is normal or special summon face up, except by the effect of Black Garden, half its attack, then the controller of the monster special summons 1 Rose token to their opponent's field in attack position, and this card's attack loss remains even if this card leaves the field, and you can target 1 monster in your graveyard with attack equal to the total attack of all plant monsters on the field. Destroy this card and as many plant monsters on the field as possible, then you can, if you destroyed all of them, special summon that targeted monster. So just have options to work around with Black Garden on the field, but like I said, you only really need the 1 since it is searchable, and a very controlling card at that for sure, with cards like Garden, Rose Maiden being also able to add back from the graveyard as well. And I also run 1 for 1. This is to search out Spore and Glow Bulb, just for more graveyard options for sure. If you use the Lone Fires to go for the 1 target, you have the 1 for 1 to search out the other ones. And I also run 1 Monster Reborn. This is just an easy special summon of whatever you need from the graveyard, even Black Rose Dragon, so definitely helpful there for sure. And I also run 1 Dragon Shrine and 1 Foolish Burial. Getting Frisson into the graveyard or any of your plant monsters with Foolish Burial definitely does help for a lot of your special summon plays. I just run 1 of each and not 2 Dragon Shrine because Dragon Shrine specifies once per turn. So just having both of these in your hand gives you both of the options available to you. And I also run 2 Foolish Burial Goods. This is for the trap card Blooming of the Darkest Rose, which we'll get to in a little bit with its graveyard effect, being able to use it. And also for the spells, I run 2 Call by the Grave, just for stopping hand traps that could, stop your special summons or your searches, you name it. So cards like Ash Blossom or just your monster effects on the field. Stopping Effect Veiler, very, very useful with this card as well. And lastly, for the spells, I run 1 Allure of Darkness. You run plenty of dark monsters in this deck, being all the Rose Dragons, the Dark Rose Fairy, the Frissons, you name it. So this just is an easy tech that I do enjoy, just for consistent draw power. If you end up opening multiples of those cards and you just want a little more consistent draw power, with this and Frozen Rose combined is very, very helpful for sure. And then for the traps, I still am a very big fan of Blooming of the Darkest Rose. Use special summon Rose tokens, basically in defense, to either field up to the combined number of cards in the field zone or in spell field spells in the graveyards. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Black Rose Dragon or plant monster in your monster zone, banish it, and if you do, place this card on the bottom of the deck, and during the standby phase, return the banished monster to the field. You can only use the effect of Blooming of the Darkest Rose once per turn, so you just have token special summon options with depending on what kind of field spell your opponents have in their graveyard or in the field, and the fact that you can run, you know, very consistently for these special summons of tokens with your Black Garden being in the graveyard as well. It's a card I really do like in the deck for that token option, then just being able to recycle back your cards as well. And that is it for the main deck. When I move on to the extra, I run 2 Black Rose Dragon. This is just so I have both options available, depending on how many times I want to summon it out. A lot of times I can, you know, destroy all cards on the field, but I also like the banish, attack reduction effect by banishing a plant monster. That effect does come up a lot more often because I can hit for big damage depending on what type of monster my opponent may have on the field. And I also run 2 Garden Rose Maiden. If this card is special summon, you can add 1 Black Garden from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Rose Dragon monster and 1 Dragon Synchro monster in your graveyard. Special summon it, and you can only use each effect of Garden Rose Maiden once per turn. So you get either the Rose Dragon or the Dragon Synchro monster, so you can get Black Rose Dragon or any of your Rose Dragons back with this card as well. A level 5 option most of the time to get it out on the field. I use, you know, Red Rose Dragon or Dark Rose Fairy, or depending on what the adjusted level of Frisson is on the field, you name it, to summon this out, and then I have plenty of options to go for with this card as well. And I also run 1 Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, just another backup level 7 option. Very, very helpful for sure, just to take care of big special summon monsters on my opponent's field. And I also run the 1 Cyber's Quantum, another level 7 option. Been testing it out. I really do like the results of this card. New from Savage Strike, just for the banish and then re-attack option for big monsters against my opponents if I don't want to destroy the whole field. And then for the bigger synchro monsters that work very well with Glow Ball, 1 Borreload Savage Dragon and 1 Crystal Wing. With the level 7s and the Glow Bulb, I end up going for Crystal Wing a good amount of the time, but Savage Dragon is a good option as well if you end up Link summoning earlier in the game and they're in your graveyard, just to have those negation options available. And then for the Link monsters, I run 1 Wee Rich Apprentice. Just like with the Allure of Darkness, you have plenty of dark monsters to make this card with and then also recycle. 1 Landfornicus if you end up opening up the plant monsters as well, that you just don't have consistent options to go for 2 dark monsters. And I also run 1 Nightmare Phoenix and 1 Saryuja. Plenty of different monsters to run as well in the deck to make this card if you just need more draw consistency. And then for the fusions, I run the 1 Dragoness the Wicked Knight, 1 Sea Monster of Theseus, and 1 Carbonala Warrior. The Theseus definitely with Dark Fairy comes up just for an easy level 7 summon for sure, since it's a level 5 tuner. And the other 2 are just depending on what type of tuners I have on the field and what type of monster I want to make. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I was definitely happy to finally give an update to the deck with the newly released White Rose Dragon, and I hope you all enjoyed the video as well. Until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.